Welcome back, my acolytes. I'm Darth Xile, back at you again for another time-lapse of Planet Coaster. This time, something a little different, where I actually streamed everything that I'm showing today, but I also just recorded, and I wanted to run a little experiment to see if, you know, it was a good idea to maybe time-lapse the whole stream. So yeah, that's this. This is the experiment. So yeah, as you can see, I am just, well, I did build a little planter just to fill in a gap in the platform, but there's two big projects that I'm going to be accomplishing in this time lapse here, and therefore the stream in general, if you want to like hear my real thoughts as to what was going on at the time. But what I wanted to do here was, I just wanted a fountain. I wanted a nice, grandiose, but obviously very gaudy fountain to kind of go with the very gaudy Chief Beef restaurant in the background there. So yeah, that's kind of what this is. I mean, I know there's very obvious fountain pieces, but I kind of wanted to do something a little bit bigger and not so obvious. You know, place the base, place the statue, place the fountain bit, put some water splashes, that's the fountain. So I just wanted something a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if I end up liking it, but you know, I'm just, as you can see, I'm just struggling trying to encase it in the Planet Coaster style plastic curved walls. And then of course it eventually, you know, it hits me that I could just make a cone. I could just, yeah, and then I can move it around as I want. It did not occur to me at the time. I'll tell you something else that's just kind of struck me. Just every time I look back at that Chief Beef restaurant back there, as much as I love the Chief Beef restaurant, I don't like the planter. And I don't like the planter that I've made. Well, I like the planter, fine. It's the trees. The trees are blocking the Chief Beef restaurant from the other side of the plaza. So I think I'm gonna get rid of those trees, because yeah, Chief Beef, you know, they're kind of in charge of that little section, and I don't think that they would block the view of their restaurant. So yeah, here I am just kind of playing with the idea of water effects. You know, what am I gonna do? I decide on some lilies because, you know, it's kind of junky. You know, it's a park. You know, there's gonna be stuff that grows in there from algae and all that other stuff. And ultimately, I decide, what if it overflows? What if the top just overflows and it creates this little waterfall? And I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Not sure entirely what I'm gonna do with it. And yep, a little jump there because I turned it off to do something, and then I came back and I started building this little edge of the fountain. Then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm not recording, I should get on that. Sorry about that, you missed me laying a couple of these walls down, that's pretty much it. And then I just rounded off with that little square bit right there, and I think that does the job. That does the job, and I just kind of finish up filling this out. I might come back to this later, I'm not entirely sure, and there I was just playing with the idea of maybe making the fountain out of some other material. But now we get on to the thing that I'm really proud of. Much like the Chief Beef restaurant, I wanted another restaurant, especially considering the fact that I opened up this park just for like a little test run, and number one complaint was there was no drinks. They walked in, they came all the way to Chief Beef, and they were like, "There's no drinks. I have no drinks. There's no drinks in this whole place." And then they would leave. So I was like, man, I got to put another restaurant down here in the Planet Coaster section before I, you know, start branching off and theming it. So I wanted to do a Street Fox, but not just any Street Fox, because I mean, let's face it, you look at Street Fox and what does it look like? It's a Starbucks. It's most definitely a Starbucks. So, you know, me being a mass hole, I've never been in a Starbucks. Starbucks, no, that's kind of looked down upon by the general public here in Massachusetts. We are Dunkin' for life, or Honeydew. I prefer Honeydew myself. But so yeah, I had to Google what a Starbucks looks like, and I went through a couple of them, and I liked some of the more flat, plain buildings. But I was like, no, this is Planet Coaster. This is on the main street in the game of the park. So it's got to be a kind of a grandiose building. So I found that this really nice building with these long bay windows, not bay windows, but these long windows with that sticky out brick bit. And then I googled the inside of a Starbucks restaurant, and it was so pretentious looking and so fancy. It looked like a 5-star restaurant for some really crap coffee. And I just laughed for like a good 5 minutes, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna build a basic interior. Yeah, that's pretty much that, really. Jump cut. And yeah, basically the idea behind, you know, putting a Street Fox coffee in here is, you know, they wanted a restaurant. Planet Coaster said, sure, but you know, you gotta make it look like it fits in with the park. And Street Fox said, sure, and they did the bare minimum, and that's the roof. That's all they did to make it fit in with the rest of the park, is they did the roof because they're far too good for this place. But of course they want to be here because they want that money. They want that sweet, sweet hipster money. And that's pretty much it. I've just talked a mile a minute. I'm trying to figure out how to do this little bit here. But that's pretty much all there is. You know, just enjoy the rest of this video without my annoying voice and the sweet, sweet tones of Planet Coaster.